rejection is tough, isn't it? It feels like walking into a room where everyone suddenly turns their backs on you. You try to speak, but your words fall on deaf ears. It's not just about feeling left out. It's about feeling completely alone, like you don't belong there at all. That feeling can really weigh you down. But what if I told you that feeling isn't the whole story? What if that rejection you're dealing with is not an end, but a beginning? It's hard to believe, especially when the sting of no still rings in your ears. But bear with me for a moment. Consider this promise from the Bible. And I will be a father to you, and you will be my sons and daughters, says the Lord Almighty, 2 Corinthians 6, verse 18. This verse isn't just a line, it's a reminder of your worth from a divine perspective. You're not just anybody, you're a child of the King, with a capital K. And that comes with some serious backing. So why does rejection hurt so much if we're so valued? It's because we often see rejection as a reflection of our worth. But what if it's really not about our value at all? What if it's more about fit and timing than anything else? Just like an eagle can't really mingle with chicks, they're just not the same. This eagle image isn't just about birds, it's about you. Being different isn't a weakness, it's a strength. If an eagle tried to shrink itself to fit in with chicks, it wouldn't work, right? The same goes for you. Shrinking isn't the answer. Embracing your eagle nature is. Now, let's think about rejection from another angle. Sometimes it's part of a bigger plan. Take Joseph from the Bible. His own brothers rejected him, sold him into slavery. Sounds terrible, right? But this move started a chain of events that led him to a position of power in Egypt, saving many from famine. What I'm saying is, rejection can redirect your path to where you're meant to be, not just where you thought you should go. It might open doors you never even noticed before. Yes, it's hard. Yes, it hurts. But it's also not the final word on your life. So, next time you face rejection, remember this: it doesn't define you. You're defined by something much greater. You are a child of God, set apart for special things. Hold on to that when the going gets tough. Keep this in mind, and maybe that rejection can be seen not as a setback, but as a setup for something greater. After all, if God can weave rejection into His plan for heroes of faith, He can certainly do it for you. Chin up. Your story isn't over. It's just getting started. You might feel it deeply when friends or family don't seem to get where you're coming from or where you're trying to go. It's like speaking a different language sometimes, isn't it? The things that keep you up at night with excitement or worry just don't seem to register with them. This disconnect can make you feel pretty lonely. Listen to this. Maybe not everyone is meant to join you on every part of your journey. Think about it like setting out on a road trip. Everyone's got their own destinations, right? You're headed somewhere that not everyone can follow, and that's okay. It's not a reflection on how they feel about you, nor is it a sign that you're on the wrong path. Look back at those who've achieved greatness. They've all had moments where they stood alone. They faced doubts from others, and even rejections from those they thought would always have their back. It's almost a given. You're in good company if you're feeling this way. When David showed up to deliver food to his brothers and ended up facing Goliath, his brothers doubted his motives. They couldn't see the fire in his eyes, the conviction in his heart. They thought he was just there to watch the battle, maybe even to cause trouble, but David saw something they didn't. He saw a challenge that was calling his name, a wrong that he felt compelled to make right. And when he decided to take on Goliath, his courage seemed misplaced to many around him. Even the king doubted him, saying he was too young and inexperienced. Imagine hearing that when you feel so sure of your purpose. It would be easy to think, maybe they're right. Maybe I am just a kid who's out of his depth. But David didn't let those voices drown out his inner call. He knew what he needed to do, and he wasn't about to let anyone's skepticism stop him. And you know what? His faith and his sling were enough to prove them all wrong. David's victory wasn't just a personal win. It was a win for his entire nation. Now, you might not be facing a literal giant, but those rejections you're dealing with, they can feel just as daunting. Each no might chip away at your confidence, make you question if you're really cut out for your dreams. But what if these rejections are just rerouting you to where you truly need to be? Think about it. Every no could be steering you away from a path not meant for you and guiding you towards something better, something that's more in line with your ultimate purpose. It's not easy to see in the moment, but sometimes those painful rejections are blessings in disguise. And remember, being set apart for something different doesn't mean you have to walk your path in total isolation. It just means that your company might change along the way. As your life evolves, so might your circle. Those who share your values, your drive, and even your dreams will come into your life, even if it means others step back. This is not to say you should push people away or wall yourself off. But it's worth considering that as you grow, your relationships might evolve too. Some may grow with you, others might fall away naturally. It's all part of the process. Don't be discouraged by those who don't understand your journey or who seem to drift away. Focus on your path, your growth. Keep your eyes ahead. Remember, David didn't win by listening to the doubters. He won by staying true to his faith and his understanding of what was right. And as you move forward, keep your heart open. Be ready for new connections, for people who will want to walk beside you, who get it, who share your vision. They're out there, and as you keep stepping forward, you're likely to cross paths. After all, your journey is about more than just reaching your goals. It's about who you become along the way. It's really tough when you face rejection, isn't it? Whether it's from friends, family, or even at work, each no can feel like a heavy door slamming shut right in your face. It's hard not to take it personally, but here's something to consider. Maybe those closed doors are actually leading you somewhere better. Maybe they're not just rejections, but redirections. Think about Jesus. He was perfect, right? Yet, he was rejected too by his own people, no less. He came to that which was his own, but his own did not receive him. John 1, verse 11. If rejection happened to him, why wouldn't it happen to us? And if it was part of God's plan for him, might it not be part of God's plan for you too? You see, every time you hear a no, it's an opportunity to turn back to God and ask, what's going on, Lord? What do you want me to learn from this? It's not about what you're losing, but about where he is leading you. The book of Jeremiah, chapter 29, verse 11 says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. God has plans for you, plans to lift you up and not to let you down. And don't forget Romans 8, verse 28, where we're reminded that in all things God works for the good of those who love Him, who have been called according to His purpose. This means that everything happening to you, including the painful rejections, is part of a bigger picture. Maybe it's hard to see right now, but it's there, working out for your good. So next time you get rejected, take a moment. Reflect on it. Don't rush to push open the door that's closed. Sit with God. Ask Him to reveal the right path, the right timing, and the right people to walk with you. Patience can be tough, but it's worth it when it leads you to where you truly need to be. And remember, just because a door is closed now doesn't mean it's closed forever. Sometimes what we think is firm no is just a not yet or not this way. Trust that God knows the way, even when you feel lost in the dark. Thank God for every rejection. Yes, thank Him. Because one day, you'll look back and you might just say, thank God that didn't work out. Just like Jesus' rejection led to our salvation, your rejections might be leading you to something great. Maybe you'll see how those tough moments prepared you for something you couldn't have handled before. Hang in there, beloved. Keep believing. Rejection is tough, but it's not the end of your story. It might just be the start of a new chapter. God's got you, and He's walking every step of this journey with you. And remember, amidst all the rejections and closed doors, you are forever accepted and loved by God. He's got a plan, and it's all for your good.
or die. Swing those hips around, can't stop, roll back down. My ladies, short, tall, thin or wide, always down and ready.